They are desperate to save Melania Trump's reputation, and I don't think that it is going to work. Melania has achieved nothing. Melania's most well-known initiative is a grammar error. Let me remind you of that. During her first term, they came out very strongly with Melania Trump's big initiative as the First Lady of the United States. And that initiative was Be Best. And a lot of us looked around and we said, seems to be a word missing there. Be best. Do you mean be the best? Be best. And this is similar to what happens with Trump. When Trump goes, they're dumping them from insane asylums. And nobody wants to go up and say, sir, you mean they're seeking asylum? Nobody wanted to tell Melania, be best is not exactly correct. Be best is not really English in the way that we understand it. We could be saying, be the best, be your best. But no, nobody had the willingness to put their foot down and go, this is a grammatical atrocity. Be best doesn't mean anything. But that is her biggest achievement. The misnamed, confusing initiative, Be Best. And now Melania Trump is out there describing herself as a visionary. I know, it's completely insane. Here's Melania saying that as a visionary, she knows what success is born of, and that it's often lonely at the top. Folks, what on earth is she talking about?
Across the country today, women are finding unique ways to balance career ambition and family. We all know these incredible women. They dominate America's workforce.
By the way, Trump's already bored.
Now more than ever before. As a visionary, I know success is not born overnight.
As a visionary, I know success is not born overnight. Melania, whose speech is this? It can't possibly one that's supposed to be read by you.
But rather take shape after a long and sometimes challenging process.
Yeah.
Often alone at the top, I follow my passion.
Yeah.
Listen
Melania is really lonely at the top.
to my instinct and always maintain a laser focus. In solitude, my creative mind dances, filling my imagination with originality.
Oh my God.
Attention to detail, demanding schedules, and multitasking.
Anyway, the vague, self-important language that signals nothing is pretty nauseating, I have to tell you. Totally devoid of substance and policy, and there's no real point being made. But a visionary, and we're just supposed to accept this, that this, Jill Biden did a lot of things relative to her areas of expertise, for example, education, when she was the First Lady of the United States. Michelle Obama did so much of really national benefit, including the entire nutrition initiative that she had. And she wasn't calling herself a visionary. Jill Biden wasn't calling herself a visionary, but they got a lot done. And they also seemed kind of like genuinely nice people. A visionary. But then it gets even worse, because we now have Melania Trump's senior advisor going out and talking to us about the legislation that Melania is working on, and talks about Melania signing an executive order. Oh, make it stop.
Really focused on America and American children. So you'll see her next month, I think, talking a little bit more about new legislation surrounding foster care and fostering the future. Remember, she signed with our president an executive order not too long ago, and now she's focused on locking that in permanently through new legislation with Congress.
She signed an executive order with Trump. Like what's not mentioned there is that her signature is meaningless on the thing. She signed the executive order with the president. Okay, so Trump signed an executive order. Come on. It's okay to say that. It's okay if she just suggests and then Trump. No, she signed the executive order. Come on. Come on, guys. Now, it's possible that people around Melania don't understand how the government works on even a basic level, or they're hoping the audience doesn't understand how government works. Now, as far as this foster care initiative and legislation, foster care is a very important issue. Very important issue. Foster care is primarily run by the states. It's here's how foster care works in Connecticut. Here's how foster care works in Arkansas. Here's how foster care works in Missouri. Okay. The systems are run by the states. Now, there is a federal role for foster care. I'm not, aside from whether Melania is doing anything, I don't want to pretend that there's no federal role in foster care. The federal role is primarily about money and maybe setting some baseline standards. But states make the decisions, states run the agencies, states manage the day-to-day foster care systems. I don't even, like, do they even know what they're talking about? And so all of a sudden, we're supposed to believe that visionary leader Melania Trump is working on sweeping foster care legislation, and she may sign it into law, like when she signed an executive order alongside Donald Trump. What sort of a sick world are we living in? So the theme here is actually one that comes from Trump. It comes from the top down. Absolutely delusional grand language about everything, combined with confusing claims with very little underneath it as the scaffolding to actually back it up. Presentation and rhetoric replacing substance, a theme for the Trump administration. Thanks for watching. Check out this other video. And if you like our content, make sure to subscribe so YouTube puts our videos in your feed, and subscribe to the podcast on Spotify and Apple.